Ever felt trapped in a conversation with someone who only speaks about themselves? Narcissism, in a nutshell, is an inflated sense of self-importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. Often wrapped in a package of charm and charisma, narcissists have a knack for turning the spotlight on themselves, leaving their audience feeling unnoticed and undervalued. The harm they inflict isn't always obvious. It's a slow poison that seeps into your self-esteem, leaving you questioning your worth. Narcissists thrive on emotional reactions. They are masters of manipulation, using your feelings to control and dominate the conversation. But what if you could disarm this manipulation? What if you could learn to navigate these interactions without losing yourself in the process? The key is understanding their behavior, recognizing their tactics, their need for attention, their lack of empathy. Understanding these behaviors is the first step to disarming a narcissist. What if there was a technique to disarm a narcissist without confrontation? Before we dive into this intriguing concept, let's first take a moment to understand what we're talking about. Picture a grey rock. It's dull, unremarkable, and you'd probably walk right past it without a second glance. This is the essence of the grey rock method: to become as emotionally neutral and uninteresting as a grey rock. You see, grey rocking is a strategy used when dealing with manipulative or attention-seeking individuals, often those displaying narcissistic behavior. It's about becoming emotionally non-responsive, dull, and uninteresting. You might wonder, why on earth would anyone want to be boring? Well, when dealing with a narcissist, it's precisely that lack of emotional reaction that helps to disarm them. Narcissists thrive on the emotional reactions of others. They feed off attention, drama, and the chaos they create. They use this to manipulate and control situations and people around them. But what happens if suddenly there's no reaction? If the drama and chaos they create falls flat? This is where the grey rock method comes into play. By responding to a narcissist's attempts at manipulation with an utter lack of interest, you effectively starve them of the emotional response they crave. You become a grey rock, uninteresting, unresponsive, and utterly unremarkable. You're not giving them any fuel to feed their manipulative behavior. Now, it's important to note that grey rocking isn't about changing the narcissist or their behavior. It's not about winning or losing. It's about protecting yourself, your energy, and your emotional well-being. It's about creating a shield of indifference that a narcissist can't penetrate. So how do you become a grey rock? It's about mastering the art of emotional detachment and responding with minimal engagement. It's about keeping your responses short, your demeanor calm, and your emotions in check. Remember, the goal isn't to fight fire with fire, but to extinguish the flames with a lack of fuel. Grey rocking is not about winning, it's about peace. Is every situation suitable for grey rocking, you might ask? Well, not necessarily. Grey rocking is a strategic tool best employed in certain scenarios. It's particularly effective when you find yourself in unavoidable interactions with narcissists. Imagine, for instance, you have a narcissistic co-worker or boss. In the workplace, you can't simply cut ties or distance yourself completely. That's where grey rocking comes in handy. Another common scenario where this strategy proves invaluable is co-parenting with a narcissistic ex-partner. You can't avoid communication entirely due to the shared responsibility of raising a child. In such cases, grey rocking allows you to interact minimally, reducing emotional distress and potential manipulation. However, remember that grey rocking isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. It's not suitable for every encounter with a narcissist, especially if there's a potential for physical harm. In such instances, seeking professional help is crucial. To sum it up, use grey rocking when escape is not an option. How does one apply the grey rock method effectively, you may ask? Well, it can be broken down into several clear steps, each of which serves to neutralize the impact of narcissistic behavior on your emotional well-being. Let's begin with the first step: maintaining calm and composure. This is perhaps one of the most crucial aspects of the grey rock method. Remember, a narcissist thrives on emotional responses. The more you react, the more they feed on your energy. So it's essential to keep your emotions in check. This doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. Instead, it's about controlling how you express them. Think of it as being the calm in the face of a storm. Next, we move to the second step: steering clear of personal topics. Narcissists are known for their manipulative tactics, often twisting personal information to their advantage. Therefore, it's best to avoid sharing intimate details about your life. Instead, stick to neutral topics such as the weather or current events. Remember, the goal is not to provide fodder for the narcissist's manipulative tactics. The third step in the grey rock method is keeping your responses short and uninteresting. When engaging with a narcissist, less is indeed more. Offer minimal responses that don't invite further conversation. A simple yes, no, or I see can suffice. The key is to make your responses as bland and unengaging as possible, much like a grey rock. Lastly, do not react to provocations. This step is perhaps the most challenging but also the most rewarding. A narcissist may try to provoke you into an emotional response, using tactics such as gaslighting or belittling. It's crucial to remember that these are just ploys for attention. Stay firm and don't take the bait. Now, you might wonder, what if I slip up? Well, that's okay. We're all human after all. The key is to recognize the slip up, learn from it, and move forward. Each step you take in mastering the grey rock method is a step towards reclaiming your emotional well-being. Some may argue that the grey rock method is about being passive, but that couldn't be further from the truth. It's about consciously choosing how you engage and respond, ensuring that your emotional energy is not drained by a narcissist's behavior. It's about standing your ground, albeit quietly. In essence, the grey rock method is a tool of empowerment. It allows you to navigate interactions with narcissists on your own terms, preventing them from manipulating and controlling your emotional state. It's about taking back your power one step at a time. To sum up, the grey rock method involves maintaining calm and composure, avoiding personal topics, keeping responses short and uninteresting, and not reacting to provocations. It's a journey, not a destination, so don't be too hard on yourself if you stumble along the way. Remember, the goal is to become as uninteresting as a grey rock. But in reality, you're not just a grey rock. You're a resilient individual, learning to navigate challenging situations with grace and composure. Keep going, and soon enough, you'll find yourself standing strong amidst the storm. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But what about the challenges? Indeed, as with any behavioral strategy, grey rocking is not without its potential hurdles. It's important to be aware of these challenges and prepare for them so that you can navigate these situations with grace and resilience. One of the most common challenges is maintaining emotional control. Narcissistic individuals have a knack for pushing buttons, and it's easy to get swept up in the emotional turbulence. Remember, the goal of grey rocking is to be as uninteresting as possible, and showing strong emotional reactions is anything but. When you feel your emotions beginning to surge, take a deep breath, remind yourself of your goal, and try to let the provocations wash over you without response. Another challenge is the temptation to engage in arguments. Narcissists often thrive on conflict and may attempt to draw you into debates or heated discussions. It's crucial to resist this temptation. Engaging in arguments only feeds their need for attention and drama. Instead, keep your responses brief and neutral, and avoid getting drawn into unnecessary conflicts. A particularly difficult challenge is dealing with feelings of guilt or obligation. Narcissists are adept at manipulation, and they may try to make you feel guilty for not engaging with them in the way they desire. Remember, your mental and emotional well-being is paramount. It's okay to set boundaries and prioritize your own needs. Finally, it's important to note that grey rocking can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. It requires constant vigilance and self-control. That's why it's so crucial to prioritize your mental health. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, whether that means seeking support from friends, family, or a mental health professional, or simply taking time for self-care activities that help you recharge. In conclusion, while these challenges may seem daunting, they are not insurmountable. With patience, practice, and a firm commitment to your own well-being, you can successfully navigate these obstacles and use the grey rock method effectively. Grey rocking is not easy, but with practice it becomes second nature. So, how does one navigate the turbulent waters of narcissistic relationships? Well, we've learned a lot today. We delved into the intricate maze of narcissistic behavior, understanding its key aspects and how it can affect relationships. We then introduced the concept of grey rocking, an effective strategy to maintain our sanity in the face of narcissistic behavior. We discussed when to employ this method, focusing on situations where it is most beneficial. We walked through the step-by-step guide on how to implement this technique, providing practical insights to make this journey smoother for you. We also tackled potential challenges you might encounter along the way, offering solutions on how to overcome them. But remember, it's not always going to be easy. There will be bumps on the road. Yet it's important to remember that you are in control. You dictate your reactions, not the narcissist. Remember, you have the power to control how you react. Choose peace, choose grey rocking.